Hey, what is going on, people? This is Elder Tenchi, and today I just want to talk about one of my favorite animes from childhood, and that is Digimon. Now, growing up, when Digimon first came out in the late '90s, early 2000s, they premiered it on the weekdays. I remember seeing the first episode on the weekday. Now, I was not allowed to watch TV on the weekdays, so I had to ask my babysitter, who was my cousin, to basically tell me what she thought, because we all thought it was just going to be a Pokemon clone. You know what I'm saying? Everything from the name to the fact that there's monsters and kids. We just thought it was going to be a Pokemon clone. I'm thinking to myself, like, how are they going to get away with this? And then when I actually saw the first episode, I changed my mind completely. Because yes, there are similarities between the two, but I thought Digimon had a lot more going for it. Not to say Pokemon doesn't, because I'm still a Pokemon fan till this day. But it had a lot more going for it in terms of story. I felt like there was more growth and more development with characters than there was in Pokemon, at least in the early seasons. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really always feel the same, even season by season. Certain things didn't feel the same, and it really just touched on personal growth, and it made me think of myself. Like the characters I related to the most were not. It was not Matt or Ty or anybody. It was TK and Joe. I related to those characters the most because as growing up as a kid, I was really wimpy. Like I'm sappy now, but still, I was like really wimpy, not sure of myself, kind of a crybaby. And that's why I related to TK so much. And I was paranoid about a lot of things, especially when it came to grades. So that's how I related to Joe. And later on in season 2, when they both grow up, and yes, he still has those worries, but it's different now because Joe's trying to get out of school and get his stuff in order, and TK is now a lot more brave than he was growing up, but he went through a lot of stuff. Like, I remember in the opening title sequence when they do the Digivolve into Champions, Digivolve into Ultimate, and they show you the evolutions before the sequence times out. They showed TK and Angemon last, at least in the first season, and I was waiting like a lot of people to just see Angemon for the first time before I even knew who he was. I just wanted to see who was going to Digivolve into the Angel. When I figured out it was going to be Patamon, I was like, when is he going to Digivolve? When? Because everybody else at that point had already had their champion debut. What the heck happened to TK and Patamon? They were saving them for last because they were the ones to just save everybody. It was the underdog. It was the one that needed the most protecting. He was the one protecting his friends, and that was something that I wanted to do one day. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to just one day be the one that I wanted to be that brave. Because that was a really brave moment for TK, as well as everyone else. Because everybody in the crew had to find themselves, and some did it later than others. But in season 2, it's like, okay, all that other stuff, you guys are still growing, but we'll give you a little bit more development here. Here you go. You're adults now. Well, not adults now. Young adults now. You're in school now. Kari is a regular member of the team. She's not sick anymore all the time. TK is not so much of a crybaby anymore. Joe is in prep school. Ty and the rest of them are doing their thing in high school, and then you got the new team, which was kind of dwindled down a little bit because there wasn't that many of them. But certain elements, like I remember Yo Lee, she was kind of concerned about like stuff like being cool and always falling in love and stuff like that. But by the end of the show, she was not really worried about that kind of stuff anymore. It was character growth. Same thing with Cody. He was kind of like TK and Joe mixed together. And that's why they gave him the crest that they gave him. But that, I like that character in season 2 the most. Anyway, season 1 and season 2, especially when Ken Ichijoji, had his tragic backstory. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, they dealt with like his brother is dead. Like all this stuff you actually kind of see. You don't see it like directly, but you know what happened. He got ran over by a car. All this stuff, and I'm like, this is dark. What the heck? But it was mature. It was a little more mature content, because this stuff happens no matter what age. So that's what hit me. But when he finally realized that it is not a game, when Ken finally realized that it's not a game, and these creatures are real, and they do have real lives, and he finally joined the team, that was an eye-opening. That was eye-opening. Till this day, yes, it's a little dated now, I will admit, but those moments you can't forget. Those moments, because those moments do happen in real life. Not meeting monsters, but everybody deals with demons and things in their own way in life, and that's what Digimon was like to me. Now, I'm only gonna go from seasons 1 and 2 because I want to get to Digimon Adventure Try, which is the new OVA for Digimon. Basically, it's a movie, split into 4 different parts. Really, you could tell it's supposed to just be watched in one sitting, but it deals with a lot of other things. It deals with personal growth. It deals with worrying about your future. It deals with having different things in common. Friends kind of drifting apart. It deals with growing up, but certain sequences, like for example, when Agumon and the rest of them first reappear after, I'm guessing, about a year or so after the original Digidestined left the digital world, because it's been a while, and obviously they've gone back at least once or twice, but it's been a while, and I was afraid of how this was going to connect to the series. I was like, was this going to be its own thing, or was it going to connect to the series? And I think it connects to the series well, and this is going to be like one small detail, but the Digivices that were used in season 2, the D3s, Hikari and Takuya, they had those. Their Digivices changed, and they used those for this. So I was very happy for that, because it just furthers their part of the story. But I was wondering, where were the other kids? Where was Daisuke? Where was the other two? Where were they? But maybe they might show up in the next part, because there will be a sequel, and it's coming out very, very, very soon. Now, really, the movie, the animation reminded me of the very first Digimon movie, at least in America. The way it was animated was very nice. The Digivolution sequences were different, you know what I'm saying? Instead of them just going from the Digivice and lighting up and then spinning around, they kind of re-emerged from the eggs and evolved that way. That was cool. At least that's what we saw. The sequences were pretty, it was different. It was cool. It was different. It kind of reminded me of season 3 in a way. But really, honestly, and truly, to this day, I still love Digimon for those reasons, for the messages, for the characters, and really, I hope that if you haven't seen it and you're a Digimon fan, watch Digimon Adventure Try, and let me know what you guys think of this series as a whole. Like, do you want to see that more? I mean, they've gone further along. I mean, now we've got whole nother generations. Maybe one day I'll talk about my thoughts about my other, the other 2 seasons that don't get that much love. Season 3 and Season 4. I have similar opinions with Seasons 1 and 2, but ultimately they're kind of different. Not bad, but different. But let me know what you guys think of Digimon Adventure Try. What do you think of Digimon as a whole? Do you remember the first time you saw Digimon? What did you think? Does it still hold up today to you, or would you rather just go for something else? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for staying with me on this little anime discussion. Peace, love, and never be normal.